just saw that screenshot, but it started out this morning at like minus 28, just shifted down to like minus 14. As being smart, remember that's my new motto. I train smart, and I'm gonna stay indoors again today just to make sure I don't get a comeback from that flu. So I'm gonna head down to Snap Fitness Smart Fitness today, Snap Fitness, and I'm gonna do a treadmill workout this morning, and I'll do a treadmill workout this evening. Depending how I feel, I'll do a half hour one time and then an hour the next, just depending how I feel. I'll either rotate it one way or the other, but definitely trying to ease back into it. It's being that it, like I said, minus 28, and I think it just shifted to minus 14 now. Still pretty cold to get that into my lungs and stuff out on the trail, so looks like it's going to go above 0 tomorrow. So it's kind of my plan is to get back out there tomorrow and kind of ease into getting on the trail and make sure I keep this thing at bay, keep this thing from coming back on me, this bug. So all right, heading to Snap.
So what I did, you know, we've been having this, I think the low last night was like 30 some below, okay? So when I went home last night, it was about 4 o'clock, 4:30, because it was before dark, okay? So I thought, well, I just wanted to do an experiment to see how these containers are working.
Right, because
so
we'll just kind of refresh everybody. But I was, what I had trouble with was not the whole container freezing, but getting the thermos tops off, or the tops.
Yeah.
Once it was really, really cold, like minus whatever, got 18 there.
Right. Okay. So what we'll do with that is we'll just get one. Like I said, we'll go to the shop and get one of those.
Okay.
It's oil filter.
Oh right, but what were you testing last night?
So what I was testing was, I wanted to see
if it would freeze up.
Right. So I had a thermos.
Okay.
And this was just hot.
You're like a scientist.
You
did the microwave heat?
No. What I did is I just did as hot as it could be out of the top. I just wanted to see it.
Okay.
Because it would only be better if it was in the microwave. So I had a thermos, filled that up. I had the, the blue insulator packs that you and I both have, outdoor research, I think, packs, or I'm not quite sure what they are. They got the foil inside with the Nalgene bottles.
Right.
Okay, so I had one of those with the Nalgene bottle, again, with as hot as water as possible I could get. And then the other one was a metal bottle that fit in there, okay? So I took 2 of them.
What's the difference between a metal bottle and a thermos? So it's not insulated, or I think with mine, I guess they're metal bottles. I just thought they were like thermoses.
I think the thermos is what they call it, a double wall. Probably holds heat better.
Okay.
So, anyways, we kind of had a little mix of everything. Okay.
A test.
A test. And then I also had a little, probably 10 by 12. Stand-up reflectix type of keeps things hot or keeps things cold. So I put the thermos and one of the other insulated bottles in that.
It's a light thing.
It's reflectix. It's like they use it for like a pizza delivery.
Oh, okay. I've seen those. Yeah,
Really light.
I think we use those for something before. I've used it before.
Oh yeah, I've used them for a lot of stuff. I use them for sleeping pad, anything.
Okay, yeah, I've seen those for the pizza delivery.
So I put a thermos and one of the Nalgenes in that, and then sealed it up. And then I took the other one that was just in the blue, and that has almost like the reflectix inside also. You notice that? Real shiny silver stuff.
Right.
Set them outside, and brought him in at about 6:30, 7 in the morning.
Mornings they were plenty long to freeze.
Oh, well, it's, yeah, it's 24 hours or whatever. Or yeah, it was well overnight and stuff. And both the containers that were in the blue soft packs, I guess we call them.
That's the thing I use, right?
Right. So they had very little ice on the top, but it was all liquid. So they were perfectly fine. And the thermos was still better than warm to the touch pouring out.
Wow.
The thermos was hot.
Couple of those screenshots, but the first thing is I got some water bottles I want to test out, some with insulators on them, and I'm gonna put them outside because I want to know that they're not gonna freeze. I've had trouble with bottles totally freezing and putting me out of the race. I've had trouble in the last race I just did or attempted to do in Tuscobia, where the lid froze and I had trouble getting the lid open. I eventually got the lid open, but it was difficult. And so I have these bottles. These were, I was using one of these in down there in Tuscobia, and so I just want to do a little better test to see if if they'll make it between checkpoints at Arrowhead, which could be anywhere up to I don't know, like 12 hours or something like that. And seeing if I can make it between the checkpoints with without the water freezing or the lid getting stuck. So I'm going to do 3 different types, which I talked to Mike about, my buddy who lives up here, who's pretty much a resident expert on all this cold, and he's finished Arrowhead. And so I'm going to do one with cold water just to see if that freezes overnight. And hopefully you saw it screenshot. So it's -17 out there right now. You don't have to go very far to find a freezer up here in the ice box of America, International Falls. So anyway, I'm going to put one out there with cold water, one out with as hot a water as I can get out of the tap sink, and one with like 3 minutes of heating it in the microwave, and just see what it looks like in the morning. Get it in there all through the night. It's going to hit a low of -27 tonight, and see if I can get the lids off, and make sure they're not frozen. I just got to know what I'm dealing with, So no better place to test it than right here, right where I'm going to do the race. So anyway, I'm excited to give this a shot. Hopefully nobody will steal them outside my hotel room. It's like, wow, these water bottles are in high demand. Hopefully not. All right, hopefully you saw that. The 3 amigos just set them outside my hotel room. -17 degrees, 3 a.m. It says it's gonna hit -27. The 3 amigos. Cold tap water, hot tap water, and boiling hot water. And we're gonna see what happens in those bottles as I leave them overnight in the ice box of America, International Falls, and we'll see who makes it to the morning. Fun experiment. I can't wait, man. This will take the edge off though when I got these in my sled, to know if they're going to freeze or not freeze, because I've had these bottles, not these bottles, but different type of bottles freeze. And I also mentioned I want to make sure the caps can come off. But that's probably not as critical as just making sure that the water will stay warm in that sled, or not even warm. If it stays warm, great, but at least not frozen until I get to the next checkpoint. So, all right, let's see what happens. hopefully you got a look at those two bags. So the smaller one on the right is most of the mandatory stuff that's required for Arrowhead. Not counting the bigger stuff, you know, like a sleeping bag, bivy sack, pad, etc. Just the smaller stuff. The stuff on the left was what I had on top, was what the bag on the left, that big bag, is what I threw in on top of the mandatory stuff when I was down at Tuscobia. I never used any of it, and I was out there 15 hours before I got super sick. And I was talking to my buddy Greg, you know, who races the year it was super hot. I mean, not super hot, super cold. It was the minus 48 year. And his sled was near 30 pounds. My sled last year, when I buckled it in the hallway, probably closer to 45 pounds. You know why? Because I put all that stuff in on the left-hand side that I'm going to pull out for this race. I'm going to get some other opinions on it, but, you know, it's extra stuff that's not mandatory. And also not counting the bottles and stuff either in that, you know, that are required, the fluid bottles. And so, but that on the left that I threw in for Tuscobia, this is a less sled in weight when I went to Tuscobia than what I had at Arrowhead last year. I never weighed it though, but that's 5 pounds. I pull that off of there, pull that 5 pounds off, which is just, it's the what if, you know, what if this happens? I need this. What if that happens? What if this happens? What if that happens? And you kind of get yourself into a mess, and you keep throwing stuff on your sled, and pretty soon you got a 45-pound sled. So anyway, I got a pretty good idea what I need and don't need. I've raced this thing 6 times. You can't be thinking major catastrophe thinking. You can't have a lot of what if this happens, what if that happens, and keep throwing stuff in your bag. It just adds up to a lot of weight, and it helps, you know what I mean? And it's going to hurt you. Just dragging that extra weight is going to hurt you. So I'm hoping to get closer to that, you know, at least mid 30s or something, compared to 45 or more. I can't even remember what I might have been closer to 50 last year. I did so many what ifs on my sled. And so anyway, I'm feeling pretty good about it, you know. Now I'll get other opinions on that, you know, kind of fine tuning it, you know, but I've raced a lot out here. I know what I've used, what I haven't used. That little 15 hours at Tuscobia gave me a pretty good idea what I'm used, what I don't use, how much fluid I was using out there for 15 hours, how much fluid I need to keep on the sled. I mean, it's mandatory for to have 64 ounces, you know, of a container. Probably what I'm going to go with. I probably had another 35 fluid ounces that I've carried in races that I get to the checkpoint, I never touched it, you know, so it was just extra water, you know. So anyway, getting smarter. This is a smart man's race. You can't, at least I can't muscle the Arrowhead. I've tried. You got to be smart and muscle it and give it all you got. As my buddy says, what's it going to take? All you got. But you got to be smart too. So let's do a quick addition from last year's Arrowhead. Just that. Now that's one of my bags. I still got the fluids to see how you know, if I do 64 ounces, like I said, that'll be whatever that is, a couple more, you know, I was probably at 100 ounces last year or more. And then looking at my food, I always put a lot of food in there. I put a lot of food, and that starts weighing a lot. So I'm going to fine tune those too over the next few days. But as of right now, let's do a quick count on weight that I'm down from last year's Arrowhead. 30 pounds on the body. Just the weight of the sled, just the make of the sled, you know, just flat out a naked sled. I got a much better sled, 5 pounds lighter. Same length, same everything, but 5 pounds lighter. And then you just looked at that bag that I threw all the what ifs in, 5 pounds lighter. So if I'm counting right, that's 40 pounds right now that I'm lighter than last year. Is that going to make a difference if I don't choke to death? Yes. Heck yes, it is. 40 pounds. That's like a small kid piggybacking all the way through that race, or throwing it on your sled, even worse. Well, half on the sled, half on my back. All right, anyway, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Heading out now to do my second set of getting on the treadmill again, staying inside, still trying to get, this bug all the way under control, get my strength back. And as we know, it's like minus 17 out there, so probably not good to heal up in. So I think I'll go to the gym and do a little half-hour treadmill workout as my second workout of the day. All right, just pulled up at Snap Fitness for my second treadmill workout of the day. Just a little half hour. I love those half-hour, workouts, just like back home and in Santa Rosa, but it's a just a little half hour on the treadmill and see how I feel. Like I said this morning, I had some pretty good strength and was doing a 15-minute mile pace at the end, which was great. And yeah, just gonna go in there and loosen up and keep getting my strength back from this flu that knocked me on my ass. But I'm feeling much better now. All right, so I thought the treadmill went great today. I finished off that last half hour treadmill with 15-minute mile for the last mile roughly. Felt strong like a bull. No, faster than a bull. Anyway, okay, let's leave that bull stuff alone. But yeah, so anyway, I texted my coach. She wanted to know how I was doing. We're all on the same team about me not having a big setback and getting sick again. And I saw that the temperature is going to go above 0 tomorrow, so it's going to max out around 6 or something degrees. I don't know. It's something like 6 above. That's balmy. It's been like 2 weeks out here that it's been one day over 0, and that was probably about 2 degrees or something. So it's been quite a cold spell going through here. But I thought that'd be a good chance to get back outside, kind of just keep working into it. We'll keep working into it. So I'm probably going to do an hour in the morning and maybe 45 minutes in the afternoon after sending a little text back and forth with the coach. The amazing Amanda McIntosh. I love her. Anyway, so that'll be fun. I'm going to do a little bit of stretching, about a half hour of stretching right now, and then go to bed and dream about running in the snow again. Dream about it being so warm, above 0. Oh, wow, I better get my Hawaiian shirt out. All right, wrapping up another day. Still don't have an X chart yet for the new year, but that's okay. Today was a free day. I'm calling it a free day instead of a binge day. That kind of just sounds skinnier. That sounds skinnier. And I'm still sinewy. Nothing like having the flu for a week keeps you skinny. Anyway, awesome day today, man. I'm getting my strength back. I'm my power back. I'm not having those waves like I was of either nausea or dizziness, and my health is coming back. Makes everything so much funner. Anyway, excited. I'm going to be back on that snow tomorrow. Back on the snow. Temperature is going above 0. It's going to be hot. I'm going to get me a drink with one of them little umbrellas in it. Hawaiian shirt. It's going to be like 4. Anyway, I'm excited. You could tell I'm excited about tomorrow because back on the snow, man. I'm going to have 2 workouts on the snow, and if that all goes well, man, the sky's the limit. I'm going to turn my coach loose on me. I'm kind of been like saying, okay, this sounds good, coach, and she edges me up a little more. I go, okay, just don't really want to get sick again. That was pretty sick I got. And so anyway, I think I'm feeling good about everything, man. I'm fired up. All right, never say that hard. I haven't said that in a while. I'm fired up. That's a good sign. It means I'm getting the life back in me. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Everybody have an awesome evening, because I know I will, because I'm going back on the snow. And I'll chat with you tomorrow.